Welcome to Bedtime Narrator, where every night we bring you a soothing story to help you unwind and drift into a peaceful dream. Tonight we have a very special tale for all the superhero fans out there. Join us as we follow Iron Man, the brilliant Tony Stark, on a calm and heroic night in the city. While the world sleeps, he's out there, ensuring everyone stays safe, before returning to his own cozy bed under the starlit sky. So, get comfy, pull up your favourite blanket, and let your imagination soar. It's time for tonight's story. Goodnight, Iron Man. Goodnight, Iron Man. It was a calm and quiet night in New York City. The usual bustle of the day had given way to a soft stillness. Lights twinkled like tiny stars on the buildings, and the moon hung low, casting a silvery glow over the streets. High above the city, in Stark Tower, Tony Stark had just finished reviewing his plans for Clean Energy Initiative. He stretched a satisfying smile, crossing his face as he looked out over the skyline. "Not bad, Stark," he muttered to himself, settling down his notebook. His eyes drifted to the bed at the far end of the room, its plush pillows practically calling his name. But before he could answer the call of sleep, Jarvis' voice filled the room. "Sir, I'm afraid there's a situation requiring your attention." Tony turned, his eyebrows lifting. "Really, Jarvis? It's almost bedtime." "Indeed, sir, but it appears there's a disturbance at the art museum downtown. A group of individuals are attempting to steal several pieces of artifacts." Tony let out a soft sigh. Though there was no frustration in his expression, protecting people and their history was part of his job, and he wouldn't have it any other way. "Okay, Jarvis, let's suit up," he said, already walking towards the balcony, ready to fight crime. With a quiet hum, the Iron Man suit unfolded from its hidden compartment, piece by piece attaching to Tony's body. The cool metal fit snugly, a second skin that made him feel invincible, yet strangely at peace. The helmet clicked into place, and the heads-up display came to life. Tony stepped onto the balcony, the wind brushing against him as he prepared to launch. Tony stepped onto the balcony, the wind brushing against him as he prepared to launch. The suit's thrusters ignited with a soft whoosh, and Iron Man soared into the sky. The cool night air rushed past him, carrying the faint scent of rain. Below, the streets glimmered, and he could see tiny specks of late-night commuters heading home. "Jarvis, give me a visual on the museum," Tony said. A holographic map appeared on his display, pinpointing the exact location of the museum. Through the external cameras, he could see the shadowy figures of the intruders moving quickly inside. "They have bypassed the primary security system, sir," Jarvis informed him. "Fortunately, no alarms have been triggered." "They have bypassed the primary security system, sir," Jarvis informed him. "Fortunately, no alarms have been triggered." As Iron Man, landed softly outside the museum. His scanners picked up movement near the back entrance. The thieves were loading a large sculpture into a van, their whispers carrying in the quiet night. "Careful with that thing," one of them hissed. "It's worth more than all of us combined." Tony stepped forward, his suit emitting a low, calming hum. He didn't want to scare them, he just wanted to stop them. "Gentlemen," he said, his voice smooth but commanding, "I think you've got the wrong idea. Art belongs in the museum, not in your living room." The thieves froze, their heads snapping towards the glowing figure of Iron Man. One of them muttered, "Oh no," before dropping the sculpture. Tony acted quickly, a repulsor beam catching the artwork before it had even hit the ground. "Careful," Iron Man said, gently placing the sculpture back on its pedestal. "If you break it, you're gonna buy it." The group of thieves scattered, their panic driving them in different directions. Iron Man activated a low-energy containment field, creating a shimmering barrier around two of the thieves before they could escape. "Jarvis, notify the authorities," he said calmly. "We've got the thieves." "Already done, sir," Jarvis responded. He always was the best AI system. One remaining thief darted deeper into the museum, clutching a small, glittering artifact. Iron Man followed him in, his suit sensor scanning the area to ensure he didn't cause any damage in the museum. As Iron Man moved through the grand halls of the museum, he couldn't help but admire the artwork around him. The soft glow of moonlight filtered through the skylights, casting intricate patterns on the marble floor. It was almost peaceful. "Hey, buddy," Iron Man called out. His tone was light but firm. "You know stealing isn't a great way to end the night. Let's talk this through." The thief stumbled, nearly dropping the artifact. With a swift yet gentle motion, Iron Man extended a small magnetic pulse, pulling the artifact safely into his grasp. "See?" Tony said, holding up the piece of artwork. "No harm done. It's in the correct hands now." The thief, shocked, stumbled against the wall, defeated. "Ooh!" By the time the authorities arrived, the museum was secure and the artifacts were safely back in their rightful place. Iron Man stayed long enough to ensure the officers he had everything under control before stepping outside. The city was still as ever. The only sound was a faint rustle of leaves in the breeze. Iron Man took a moment to look up at the sky, the stars twinkling softly above him. He had once again saved the day. "You've done well, sir," Jarvis said. "Perhaps now we should get you home and get some rest." Iron Man chuckled at Jarvis. "Good idea. Let's get home and get some rest. It's well deserved after saving that museum." Flying back towards Stark Tower, Iron Man took the scenic route. He glided over the river, the water shimmering under the moonlight, and past the quiet neighborhoods where porch lights flickered like fireflies. The flight was smooth, the gentle hum of the suit almost like a lullaby. It reminded Iron Man of why he loved the night. Everything felt calmer, slower, and more peaceful. After he saves the day, of course. As Iron Man landed softly on the balcony of his tower, the suit began to disassemble, each piece folding neatly back into its storage unit. Tony stretched, "Oh!" feeling the weight of the day and night finally catching up to him. Iron Man walked to his bed. The soft glow of the city lights filtered through the curtains. Sliding under his covers, he let out a content sigh. "Good night, Jarvis," he murmured, his voice barely audible. "Good night, sir," Jarvis replied. As Iron Man closed his eyes, the city continued to sleep peacefully, knowing its protector was always watching. The moon climbed higher in the sky, casting its gentle light over the world below, Iron Man's world. And in the quiet stillness of the night, Iron Man drifted into a deep, restful sleep, dreaming of more quiet nights and the endless possibility tomorrow can bring. And that is the end of tonight's story. Good night, Iron Man. Even heroes need their rest, and just like Iron Man, it's time for us to settle in and recharge for another day. Thank you for joining us here at Bedtime Narrator. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another bedtime tale. Wishing you and all the Marvel fans the sweetest dreams and a peaceful night's sleep. Until next time, this is Goodnight from Bedtime Narrator.